What's up, guys? It's Travis coming to you from my office / editing cave / I don't know, overflow room. There's a little bit of everything in here. You're lucky that you can't see right over there because I've got a pile of laundry that would rival the Great Pyramids of Egypt. So I'm not going to show you that, but be thankful you're looking this way. Even though I'm not much to look at either, you don't want to see all that. Quick short video today. Wanted to go over a couple of things. As you know, we have a trip coming up to Canada on May 31st. We will be leaving for Ontario to fish for smallmouth and muskie. It'll be just my dad and I. It's a trip we're really looking forward to. This will be our 4th time up there doing this, but this time is a completely different lake. Different outfitter. Everything's completely different, so we really don't know what to expect. The lake that we've always fished is absolutely full of smallmouth and full of muskie. This one supposedly is as well. We simply won't know until we get there if that's the case or not. Everything I've read, researched, people I've talked to who have been to the lake in the past have had nothing but incredible things to say about it. With that said, wanted to go over a few things that I will be taking with me that I feel like are extremely important when you go on a trip like this. So follow along, and next time you go on a trip, you'll know what to take. All right, so first thing I like to do, and I do apologize, it's thundering outside. There's a little bit of a storm rolling through, so if you hear thunder, I'm sorry, but not much I can do about it. One of the most important things that I've found in preparing for a trip like this, especially when you're going somewhere you may not be familiar with, right, is writing stuff down. So all the information that you can find about, it could be anything, patterns, watercolor, average temperatures for the time that you're going to be there, historic average temperatures, which is something that I think plays into a lot, simply because, if you go early season and ice off has just happened, which it's happening right now, and we leave in 3 weeks, those fish are likely going to be either pre-spawn or spawning while we're there. It's just, the way it goes. If they're spawning when we're there, it may be kind of tough to catch fish. Now, if it warms up drastically, those fish could be post-spawn by the time we get there, and it would be just otherworldly how many fish we would catch. So taking information, writing everything down. I carry this notebook with me everywhere I go. If I have a thought, I write it down. This even has like a grocery list in it for when we go, that I can, revise, everything like that. Of course, I've typed everything up in Excel as well, just to make sure that, we have everything we need. But as I think of things, I write them down. So tip number 1, good notebook. Second thing that I'll be taking is my Lumix S5. Now this is my super, high-end camera. This is my really fancy camera, if you will. This is a 20 to 60 millimeter kit lens. This is not the lens I'll be taking. I'll probably take it with me in the bag just as a backup lens if anything were to happen. But 99% of what I shoot will be on the 70 to 200, as well as the 24 to 70 S Pro. So definitely gonna take this with me, get some great footage of some fish, get some great footage of the wildlife up there. Also get some, super cinematic B-roll if I can, and definitely gonna do some talking head stuff with Dad as well. I love listening to him tell stories, so why not document that? So second piece of equipment, definitely the Lumix S5. All right, so we've been over the notebook, we've been over the camera. Clearly those are 2 important things. I'm going to omit mostly clothing and stuff like that. I feel like you guys know what to pack for a trip. It's really all weather dependent, but really all I'm gonna take is a pair of fishing pants, 2 pairs of shorts, a couple of hoodies, a couple of hats, and I'm gonna call it good. I'm literally gonna wear flip-flops to and from the airport, which is disgusting, I know, but hear me out, they're really easy in TSA, and I can kick them off on the plane if I want. And I'm taking a pair of deck boots just in case the bugs are bad. So as far as that's concerned, super simple. Everything I'm taking as far as clothes goes fits in a backpack. All right, third item, fly rod. This is the fly rod I'm going to be taking. It is an 8-weight Redington Crosswater, and generally I wouldn't take an 8-weight. I would usually take a 6, maybe a 7, but I'm going to take the 8 this year because last time we went, although smallmouth bass are not huge, they can get pretty large, but though they're not huge, they pull so incredibly hard that I found with a 6-weight, I was simply outmatched. I was exhausted. My right arm from fighting fish was just sore to no end, and it was a little bit difficult to get larger flies to turn over and lay out nicely for me. I really kind of had to muscle through it. So I'll be taking, again, Redington Crosswater. This is an 8-weight, and this should, I mean, honestly, there shouldn't be anything in this lake that I can't catch on this, unless it's, you know, if I hook into a 50-inch muskie, that's a little bit different, but I still honestly think I could likely land it. If my leader holds up, I think I could likely land it. So super important piece of equipment here. I am going to take a backup rod just in case anything happens to this one. I'll be carrying this on the plane with me, so at least I know I'll have a rod when I get up there. Even if they lose my bag, I'm not gonna lose my rod because it's gonna be literally in a rod tube in my backpack. So very important, fly rod. All right, so what good is a fly rod without fly reels? It's not. I'm taking 2 8-weight fly reels. I'm taking 1 8-weight fly rod, as I already showed you. My plan is, since I don't know exactly what depth we're going to be fishing, I'm going to put a full sink line on this reel so that if I want to get down deeper into the water column, I'm able to do that without having to, you know, literally change my fly line. And on this one, which it's already on there, I'm going to just a regular weight forward floating line. Likely what I'm gonna do with this reel, since it's already got the weight forward floating on it, this will be my smallmouth reel, because we're gonna fish a lot of poppers, a lot of top water, even some streamers, but just a little higher in the water column. And on this one, I will put the full sink, and this will be for muskie. So I'll have a full sink line on this, and of course I'll have, you know, a steel leader of sorts, at least some wire bite, something like that. So having extra reels is always a good idea. You never know when, you know, you're gonna hook that monster and it's gonna burn your drag out, or it's gonna come apart and part of it's gonna fall in the lake, and guess what, man, you're kind of up you know what creek without a paddle. So always a good idea to have a backup. Let's check out some flies. What kind of tackle are we gonna be using? Well, let me show you. So for smallmouth, gonna throw chuggers, big poppers like this one. They make a lot of noise on top of the water. Aggressive fish, they can't stand it. They have to hit it. So that's gonna be 90% of what we fish with for smallmouth. Musky flies are a little bit different. So let me pull a couple of these out. Now this is one of the musky flies. So this is an 8-inch articulated fly, absolutely beautiful. And I know this is gonna do the trick. A lot of my research has indicated that white and pink are very good colors at the lake we're going to. So we are going to put that theory to the test immediately with this one. Your standard Fire Tiger, this is actually a 10-inch Fire Tiger musky fly there. Got a fly in here that I call a redneck hot rod. I think this will be great for, honestly, for smallmouth and I think smaller muskie, but I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on camera, but internal rattle. So that thing is gonna be nasty. This thing in the water, man, when you strip, wham, it flies up. This thing has got so much good action. Another piece of my research has indicated that these fish eat a lot of mice that jump off of the rocks into the water. So I plan on testing that theory as well. This little guy is gonna get nommed. What should we name him? Put something in the comments. Let me know what we should name him. Moving on to leaders. So typically we use standard Rio 9-foot bass leaders. Literally just your typical Rio tapered bass leader. For muskie, it's going to change a little bit. I think what we're going to end up doing this year is we're going to run about 4 feet of straight 30 mono, and then we're going to do a blood knot. We'll put another 2 feet of 20 to maybe 25 mono, and then we're going to tie a swivel and a stay lock, and we're going to put, I don't know, maybe about a foot of wire, some toothy critter wire bite on there as well. So I did pick up some trout Versa leaders as well. These are essentially just sink tips, not sinking fly line, but essentially like tippet that sinks. So I think this says 6 inches per second. I think they're a little bit quicker than that, simply because, I mean, for example, if you have something with a tungsten bead on it like this, with one of these, obviously it's going to sink faster than that 6 inches per second. It's, this is going to be pulling it down. This would even, sink floating fly line if you let it sit there long enough. So I think that's going to be an interesting new way to kind of experiment. I've also got the big nasty leaders. These are 16 pound. So likely we'll put these on as a butt section for the muskie. Where's my wire? And here is the wire. This is kind of our thought on what to use for the muskie. So you can see you've got a snap lock there. You've got, well, it's hard to see. You've got a swivel there. So this will be from our butt section to some tippet, and we'll just, simply put our fly on right here. Now, this rod tube is not the one that came with this fly rod, okay? What I found is the one that came with this rod, with this Redington rod, is much less, sturdy is the wrong word, strong maybe. I've found that this Echo, I own an Echo 3, 4, and 5 weight, super cheap rods. I think I got them on Amazon, honestly, as client rods. And what I found is these rod tubes are virtually indestructible. Super durable. Like this thing looks, this tube looks brand new. I mean, it really does. And it's been on, I don't even know how many flights. It's been out west. It's been, Montana, Colorado, Canada multiple times, Florida, you name it. And it looks brand new. So this is my go-to rod tube. If you are looking for a nice, we'll call it an entry-level fly rod, Echo, they're awesome. Especially my little 3 weight for mountain streams, doing some blue lining. That rod is sick. It's this little tiny 7-footer. It's 7 foot 8 inch. It's freaking awesome. I love that rod. And you get the tube. Just make sure if you want to carry something larger than like a 3 or a 4 weight, you're going to need to order an Echo 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 weight, something like that, because the tubes are going to be too small if you get, a 7 foot 3 weight when you need a tube for, a 9 foot 8 weight. The rod tube simply won't hold the rod. So good tip for you there. All right, getting into some of the ancillaries. Again, we don't really know what the temps are going to be like when we get up there. What I've researched is that our days should be low 70s, maybe mid 60s. The nights might get a little bit chilly. It doesn't get dark up there in June, which we'll be there the first week of June, until, like 11 o'clock at night. So we're going to be fishing pretty late at night, and it's still going to be light. With that said, as the sun gets lower, it gets cooler. So this is the Simms Fall Run hooded jacket. I love this jacket. It is super versatile. You can wear it. A lot of times what I do is I wear it under my waders, and flip that hood up, man, it is so cozy. And it's also, to be honest with you, like it's light enough to, if it's 50, 55, 60 degrees even outside on a cool morning, this is light enough that you're not gonna just be like pouring sweat, right? But it's also super warm when you want it to be. So if you layer up, even just a simple base layer like a regular Simms fishing shirt, any fishing shirt for that matter, and this over it, zip it up, throw the hood on, you're not gonna get cold. This jacket freaking rocks. So when you're traveling to a spot you're not super familiar with, you're not exactly sure what the temps are gonna be, make sure you're prepared and you have a good jacket. Simms Fall Run, highly recommend. Another super important item that you wanna have, especially because June in Northwest Ontario is the rainiest month of the year. You never know. It could be bright sunny skies and 70 degrees, and 20 minutes later it could be an absolute just torrential downpour, and all of a sudden it's 50 degrees. Not a fun spot to be if you're in shorts and a t-shirt on that boat ride back to the cabin when you're absolutely freezing. So these are the Simms Challenger bibs. These things rock. They are so wonderful. One of my favorite features about these is they've got adjustable leg widths. So you've got the Velcro as well as the zipper. So you don't have to take your boots off, you don't take shoes off, anything like that. And they don't fit like, like bell bottoms would if they weren't adjustable. And they're also not skin tight on your leg. Super comfortable, super versatile. Love that they have the elastic straps over the back, super adjustable. You can, honestly, I think these are a medium, and I'm 6 foot tall, and I bet you somebody 6'3" to 5'8" could probably wear these just because of how adjustable they are. So they're super versatile. So that's super important. All right, so that's pretty much all of the gear I'm going to take with me. Now there are some things that you'll definitely want to take with you. One being, take a couple of books, right? You're likely not gonna have any cell phone service up there, so no scrolling through any of the social media platforms, which I don't have any, so I'm not gonna miss it a whole heck of a lot. I will miss YouTube because I love going down YouTube wormholes and learning all kinds of new stuff. So definitely take a book to read. I actually got off of Amazon it's an adult coloring book. I thought it would be kind of cool. It's like old Western pictures. There's horses and mountain ranges and stuff in there, and essentially I'm gonna be the Bob Ross of the lake we're gonna be on. So definitely take some form, I guess, of entertainment, because late at night, if likely you're gonna be super tired and knock out pretty quick. But if you can't sleep, or if you just get bored, or it's raining one day, something to do is definitely a good idea. I'm not gonna tell Dad this, but I have shipped a guitar to the outfitter, and they're gonna fly it in the day before we get there. So when we get there, we'll have a guitar to play. My dad, as you guys probably know, he is a huge musician, absolutely loves to play guitar, is obsessed with it, plays for hours and hours every single day. So cool little surprise for him. There'll be a guitar waiting on him when he gets there. So that'll be fun. So while I'm over in the corner, coloring my horse picture, Dad can be over there picking his guitar a little bit. I'm gonna take my laptop. Now there's not gonna be any service, there's not gonna be Wi-Fi, anything like that, but I am gonna take my laptop. I'm hoping that I'll be able to edit a little bit. If nothing else, I can dump footage. So I can clean these cards up. I can throw the footage on the laptop and have plenty of space. As far as camera gear goes too, I'm talking to you on the Action 5 right now, so that'll be going with me. Obviously you saw the Lumix, it'll be going with me. I do have 2 others that will be going. This is a Sony ZV-1. This is just kind of like a little point and shoot pocket cam. My thought is probably hand this to Dad. Again, since it's just point and shoot, and it's actually got a built-in lens, you don't have to do anything with it. It's a pretty cool little camera, and honestly the picture is not that bad. I'm not sure what sensor size this is, but it takes really good video actually. So I'll probably hand this to Dad, let him fire away. You know, the more the merrier. Whatever he can shoot, awesome. I will use it. I'm gonna take my drone, of course. Not sure where the cover for the camera is. That's not good. It's gotta be laying over there somewhere. But definitely gonna take the drone for some of those aerial shots. As far as anything else, I think that's it. You know, I'm gonna take a beanie, I'm gonna take my tripod, a couple of things like that, but this trip is supposed to be about disconnecting to the point you reconnect. If you can follow what I'm saying there. So you're disconnecting from the noise of every day of work, of whatever it may be. Traffic is a big one for me. I absolutely loathe sitting in traffic. So being up there and being able to disconnect from that, oftentimes when you come back and you get back into that cycle, or you're sitting in traffic, it's not quite as bad because you know that you can disconnect enough to reconnect. So that's the way I want to put that. I know that's kind of an odd thing to say, but that's my goal, and that's the objective of going on this trip. Hang out with my dad, catch a boatload of fish, which I know we will, no questions there, and disconnect enough to reconnect when I get home, to make me a better husband, you know, a better leader for my team at work, you name it, just all around better myself by disconnecting. So I can't wait to take you guys along. I really hope that you enjoyed this little gear grab type deal. I know it's kind of cliche and just kind of put together kind of quickly, but that's really all I'm going to take. You know, I'm going to take some flies, some reels, a rod, some cool weather gear, and shorts and some shirts. That's it, man. And I'm going to go fish. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the full film. It will be out hopefully by mid-June. If I can get everything edited, it'll be out by mid-June, maybe July. So stay tuned.